I thought they defended us a lot similar to the first time we played them in terms of they weren't going to leave three-point shooters, right? They face guarded them a lot. They shot the gap and tried to keep us from turning the ball a little bit and get us out of rhythm. So the response to that is to attack in twos in the paint. And I felt we just didn't have enough guys pose a threat in the paint in terms of getting those high percentage shots, which led to quite a few turnovers in the first half. Once we spread them out in the second half, put the ball in Bandit's hands a little bit, which took away that pressure and took advantage of the face guarding on the shooters. We attacked the rim, and I think we got quite a few twos at that point. The problem was we dug ourselves too far in the hole. They ran out of time coming back.
That first half just felt like there were stoppages every 20 to 30 seconds. How difficult do you feel like it was for your team and really both teams to develop momentum?
Stoppage is one thing. Another thing is just playing with your bench against your starters. It's been a long time since we've been faced with that. You know, I look up at 3 or 4 starters on the bench with 2 fouls. I played Moody and Bandit for over 10 minutes with 2 fouls to stay in the game. And so when your opponent gets 41 uncontested shots from a charity stripe, it's going to be hard to beat.
How challenging is it to coach in a game like that where, I mean, so many subs, your rotations are just completely not what they normally are. I mean, it must be difficult.
Your ability to make adjustments is challenged. Your team's ability to handle adversity is challenged. And I thought they did a phenomenal job. You know, all the way up until the 46-second mark in the first half, they had only made 2 baskets. So we were defending. We held them to 29% first half. The problem was we turned the ball over and we weren't getting great shots for ourselves, but it was still a two-possession game until those 2 threes. And that opened it up. And then I felt coming out of halftime, we had a couple of minor adjustments offensively. Keep doing what we do defensively, we'd be fine. And we broke down and did not defend the paint the way we did in the second half. So we spotted them 6 minutes in both halves, and that's where the game was won for them.
You're good. Oh, just this, you turned the corner a couple weeks ago, and so this is obviously a disappointing loss, but how do you not let this affect the last 3 games of the season?
We're gonna spend 3 days figuring out how to defend the free throw line. If we come up with a legal way to contest the free throw shot. If anybody's got any advice, I'm wide open. Shoot me a text, call me, or whatever, because that's the only way we're gonna win this kind of game.
You said Wednesday you didn't necessarily care how long the winning streak goes on as long as you feel you guys are playing good. Do you come out of this game feeling like you guys are still playing good?
I thought that was the best defensive half we've played all year. So there's going to be some positives out of this game in terms of our growth. I think our depth was good in terms of Lou and Vasquez off the bench and what they gave us. So there's some areas of growth. You know, Mac had a setback with his injury this week, so he wasn't able to practice. And you know, when he doesn't practice, it's just very difficult for him to get in rhythm. But I think that Lou's done a good job stepping in there. So I think we're still progressing. We just haven't progressed enough to beat one of the top 2 teams yet. But we got plenty of time. If we see one of those guys, it won't be for a while.
And you said best defensive half you made the first half.
Yes.
I guess first time for you being swept by the Cats in the season, it's kind of a foreign feeling. I was curious, what's the feeling like for you?
I don't like losing in general. You know, every loss is the same to me. I'm a 1 game at a time kind of guy. I try not to get too high or too low on an opponent. You know, it's a rival. I understand that we don't want to be swept. I don't want to be swept by anyone. So it's not a great taste, and hopefully we get an opportunity to avenge this one. Maybe. There's 2 big calls that ended both games. We had that game won at home. That game was won. And the guy jumps into a defender and gets 3 free throws to take the lead. We won that game. And tonight we fought to get ourselves back in the game. It's a physical basketball game. When you get to the last 2 minutes of the game, you let the players play it out, and that's not what happened. Guy threw the ball above the shot clock. Got 2 free throws. So, you know, I don't know. I look at the film and maybe, I know we did foul a lot. I know that. I know our discipline's got to be better around the rim with our walls and our contests. But something tells me that maybe they earned about 25 of those free throws. 41's a lot. and they started the game at the free throw line. And it backs the team off. And I'm used to these games being physical. When I played in them, in the past, in coaching these games, they've been physical. But they play. You know, I remember playing against Weaver in the championship game, there were 2 free throws taken the whole game. East Night Championship for the right to go to the NCAA tournament. And I just don't feel like that's what we're seeing right now. So we got to do a better job of keeping people out of paint and not bail people out. But we're playing good enough basketball.